to each and everyone. Welcome to Facts Not Fiction. Of course, today being Monday, you people would be well accustomed to the Monday Night Forum. But, as it is, tonight, it's facts, not fiction. And I want to start off, first of all, by welcoming all our viewers regionally, locally, internationally. I know that I start a bit late today, but of course, it's circumstance beyond my control. You know, Marvin Gonzalez boys and them on the Union Road. They dig a big hole in the road and they are attempting to repair what I know for a fact that they will have to come and repair again. Because I have not seen WASA complete a leak, repair a leak, and do not have to go back to that same leak, dig up the same area, and repair what they repaired previously. That is how it is. And of course, I don't know if you can remember a couple years ago, it's about 20 years ago, when they were running these pipelines throughout the length and breadth of this country. I don't know if you can recall where there was a shipment of wrong sleeves for those pipe. And at the time, down in the Palo Seco, Rancho Comado area, and I know that there's folks down there who can bear this out, at the time, they have decided to stretch the sleeves to make the joining on those lines. And of course, we are seeing the result of what can only be a lack of professionalism, a lack of engineering skills. But as your Prime Minister rightly said, that he have chosen an individual who knows absolutely nothing, a man who doesn't even know that leaks will deter the pressure from going up a hill. That is the man that your Prime Minister boasts of, that he have selected to put as the Minister of Utilities. That's the man. But be that as it may, I want to also...
And I never imagined that leaks could have prevented people from getting an efficient water supply, because it breaks down pressure and the water cannot go to communities on the upper levels.
And that is why, as Prime Minister, I was very happy after the election results came out. Then I got somebody who had no connection, no understanding, no nothing to do with WASA.
That is the man that your Prime Minister choose to put, a man who knows absolutely nothing, according to him, absolutely nothing about WASA, about water, about laying pipe, absolutely nothing. That is the man that your Prime Minister choose for you. Added to that, since the Wali, the people of Quarry Village, Skinner Trace, Robert Trace, and the surrounding areas, they have not gotten pipe-borne water since the Wali. And I know for a fact that the Wali gone about 3 months now. They have not gotten pipe-borne water in their taps for just about 3 months. But yet still, they're receiving bills where they will have to pay WASA for water that they did not receive. So I am going to...
I feel when you have the call-in session, let people call in and confirm what you're saying is true. Right? You're from wherever, you didn't get water since when? Diwali day? Let them call in and say that. But remember the live you did where the road eat away because the line was leaking like a 20-foot slip.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the person you was interviewing there was saying that WASA fixed that leak about 50 times and it keep. So what it is it that WASA deliberately does bad work so that the contractor will get another contractor fix?
Well, as I was coming up the road, WASA was digging just about 20 feet from the same area as we was coming up the road here this afternoon. They dig a big manhole about 8 feet wide and about 7 feet or 6 feet deep, and they repairing. And that area in Quarry where the gentleman was speaking of, I think 50 times is a reasonable, a very polite figure. That leak, I know for a fact that WASA fixed that leak more than 75 times. That is years upon years, that area is dig full back. That area have a permanent pothole. And anybody who living in those areas or who use the SS Erin Road will know that and not only 1, 2 areas, it always have 2 potholes there because WASA forever digging, fixing, and tonight they're digging again.
Yeah, but Victor, fixing a pipe is not no such a big, complicated rocket science. How you could be fixing a leak over 75 times and it's still leaking? So I am trying to figure out, if we have thousands of leaks and you have to fix it hundreds of times, is millions of dollars them contractors getting? And if you notice, they like to work overtime. I go tell you a story about that overtime I hear WASA people talking about, right? So it is no surprise that one day we're going to hear that WASA losing millions upon millions of dollars and people not getting water.
But you have to pay a bill. So I am advising people to seek legal advice, and it's about time somebody put WASA in court, because if I am paying for a service from a state utility that I am not receiving, then it's simply a case where WASA is collecting money under false pretense.
But it's worse than that, because I remember WASA wanting to charge somebody for using a pump to pump river water to the garden.
That was the agriculture
right?
area.
No, but basically, and what I'm trying to tell you is, WASA is the sole authority to provide water. You know, if you catch water in a tank from your roof, WASA could charge you. So what I'm saying is, if they have that authority as the sole provider of water and they're not providing the water, you tell me what a person is supposed to do. And this is where I really feel court should come in. And here I know what WASA coming with just now, just like what they're going to do with that electricity. They're going to say the cost that you're paying for water is almost free, and then Raul start to talk about how it's so much more money in this country and that country, and you almost pay nothing, so you have to pay more. And they riot. But they're damn right. If you see people in that Boma Boy Fete or whatever that stupidness is they had in Shagaramas, boy, if you get that kind of people in a political march against the government, well, then you're good. But partner, so I'm wondering if we backing up the wrong tree.
Well, WASA on a whole, from where I sit, WASA is always a failed entity. I don't understand for whatever reason.
Nah, man, Victor, you're being polite. You very well know the reason. You could start to put it out. That is a party group. That is a Balize party group.
I don't know for what reason that this government will continue to appoint their people into these positions where they have no managerial skills, where they have not certified themselves with the qualifications to deal with this entity. And what I am seeing is that this administration continues to appoint people in every state agency, in every entity where a political appointment can be made, whether it be on state boards, on all these various boards, whether it be NGC, whether it be flour mill, whatever board, they continue to appoint their friends, their family into these positions without any form of qualification to manage the affairs of the people of this country. And it is something that going forward, the people of this country have to demand that people be appointed who is qualified to do the job, and not because they belong to a friend, a minister family, some minister outside woman or minister outside man.
Yeah, but that is the PNM's policy. Ever since I know that, that's the PNM's policy, and the people is voting for the PNM. So is for you asking people to demand satisfaction is a sort of oxymoron.
Well,
I want you to explain though. And this came out of the parliamentary committee that Senator Robertson and Padarat was on, where WASA officials admitted that under the Kamla Prasad-Bisesa administration, 72% of the people was receiving a 24/7, and it's down to 18%. Now, I know things is improve and get better, but if it go backward a little bit. But you're talking about from 74% down to 18%. And that is not Victor Roberts or Anil Roberts or Kyle Taklal saying that, you know. That came out in the parliamentary, what is called that? Parliamentary Accounts Committee meeting. Right? So you tell me now, man, you tell me that if it is people just ain't like it, so why you gone from 74%, which is why I be telling you, boy, you feel we supposed to come on these shows and tell people vote for UNC. You ain't waking up in the morning and see you ain't have water since Diwali. Since Diwali you ain't have water, and I must come and stroke your ego and beg you to come out and vote. Don't go and tie the goat. Something wrong, boy, Victor?
Well, actually, bottom line, we have to do what we have to do. That's the bottom line.
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing here.
And I am not going to put my hands up in the air at no point in time and surrender. That is not in my DNA. It was never in my nature. It's not in my thinking capacity. So I am a fighter. I am going to fight until the last day reach. But coming back to the point, people have to demand that those who fill these positions, they must be qualified in order to get that managerial position in these state-owned boards or utilities, as the case may be. We just can't continue to put we friend, we partner, we woman, we man. We just can't put them in position because we in charge of the public purse.
You're saying that, Victor. The people outside there would love to do it, but you're talking that talk. I wonder if you have any idea what a person could do. Let me just say is one of these persons who say they didn't get water since Diwali, and they really want to take some action against WASA or the government or something. What avenues are available to them?
Well, they had to seek legal
apart from voting.
They had to seek legal advice. That is what they had to do, seek legal advice. That is what they need to do. But coming back to the point, we just can't put people in these positions, and these people are not competent to hold those positions. It's the same reason why we have a government in office that is administrating the affairs or who should be administrating the affairs of the country.
But I think you're wrong. When Basdev Pandey was there and he brought in the appropriate specialists and all these people, the media attack, they're talking about short pants, man, and this one friend and family. They wasn't watching that water was going higher and higher. They wasn't watching that, and they attack and attack and attack until they get rid of the government and get rid of these competent and qualified people. So I think people really like it so. But again, as you say, you're not going to throw your hand up in the air, and that is why you come out on a Monday when it had no Monday night forum, because you're planning to continue the fight. But what we're asking is people have to come out and fight a little more, because all the vex and shows that you're having here, Victor, something had to happen, right?
You see, when you have an administration who cannot or who is not competent enough to administrate, what you will find happening in the country is that you will find that every state entity going to fall apart. And it's not just WASA, it's every sector that is falling apart. The infrastructure falling apart.
Lord,
Sports going through the window.
Looking so.
Everything keep falling apart. And some people may ask the question.
Well, beside them fellas rent and thing.
Yeah. Some people may ask the question, well, why everything seems to be just falling apart? Bad roads, no water, we have an outage, and we hear they say some tree fall on a line somewhere. I mean, the list of excuses just keep continuing. And this is what will happen Trinidad and Tobago when you make bad decisions. It is as your house, it is as your home. If you are the administrator of your home, then you must be able to put policies in place in your home that the home will be able to have food, the bills will be able to pay, the children will have clothes, the chickens will have feed, the dog will have, well, I ain't saying chow because people can't afford that these days. But the point I'm making is this. You have to be able to manage, put policies in place to manage your home so that you wouldn't find your house falling apart. Now, we have a government in office 7 years. And this government wasn't able, still not able, to manage the affairs of the country in a way that the country could raise its head above water. When you look at situations like what occurred in Beetham, where you had residents enjoying the scent of filth for months, when you look as to what is happening, where you will hear people throughout the country complaining that they cannot and they didn't receive water for such a long period of time. When you look at your roads and you also see that your roads falling apart. When you look at housing, today people still cannot get accommodation. When you look at grants, today you will hear the government tell you they spend how much millions in grant, even under the pandemic. And then you may very well be able to count on your finger one or two individuals who may have gotten some form of relief. When you look at employment, you realize that employment is at the highest. When you look at crime, you will see that crime is totally out of control. When you look at protection of the borders, you will also realize that it's a free for all. And I mean, the list can go on and on as to why the government cannot manage its affairs in the country. And that is the same reason. When you, the people, make choices and you would not make constructive choices, you will end up with a bunch of persons like you have today who sits at the hem of governance but unable to govern. And then when they are unable to govern, what happens is that the government look for distractions. And the easiest distractions that is available to the government, it is the UNC. So the government cannot tell you why you're not getting water. But what they will tell you is if you ain't getting water, blame Kamala. The government cannot tell you why they are unable to repair the roads in this country and the bridges. What they will tell you is blame Kamala. The government would not be able to minimize the flooding situation in this country because they have not the silt and clear the water courses. But what they will tell you is blame Kamala. When the government is unable to provide jobs for you and they cannot tell you why, what they will tell you is blame Kamala. And you the people of this country, you would sit down and some of you will run away with the distraction. Some of you will allow the distraction to make root in your brain. And when it make root in your brain, then you are unable to see the natural failure of the government. So you contribute to the excuse that the government who is unable to manage, you will then contribute to that excuse. And you of yourself, as I said, on the first occasion, you will curse the driver. On the second occasion, you will curse who is responsible for the whole. And on the third occasion, you will get comfortable, so you just swing away from the whole and you are comfortable. Trinidad and Tobago. You know why I come out here tonight? I really come out here tonight to tell some of you how silly and how stupid and how blinded you are in this society. I come out here tonight to tell you, some of you, that you have allowed your natural brain, your natural cells, your natural brain cells to be so contaminated with the PNM propaganda that you hardly could understand what is right from wrong as I speak. Some of you will bend your jaw and squinch your face when I speak because you cannot accept the truth. Some of you will text negatively when I speak because you cannot accept the truth. Not that you bending your face and squinching your jaw or texting negative affects me in any way. Because you could do all that. I will still tell you the truth. I will still tell you how silly some of you people are in this country. I will still tell you how stupid some of you are in this country simply because You have allowed yourselves to be blinded because you hate the truth. And the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, is that under Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the country was never anything close to what you are experiencing today, and yet to the end of it, you still find comfort in an idiot who will stand up and tell you, blame Kamala. You will find comfort in some idiot, which is a few idiots, that will tell you that Kamala weak. You will still find joy within whatever small thinking capacity that is existing within your brain. To feel comfortable with those idiots who will tell you that Kamala weak. The weakness, ladies and gentlemen, it is you. You are the weak individual in this country because you stand up for nothing. You will not stand up against a prime minister who have blatantly disrespect you. A prime minister who continues to blatantly lie into your hearing. A prime minister who consider you to be dotish. A prime minister who fail in every aspect of administration. A prime minister who your former Prime Minister Manning tell you about. But yet, within your little shallow capacity, you will still find glory in that man and this government who continues to bring you down to the bottom of the ladder, down to the bottom of the pit. You are struggling. I have seen Palo Seco Junction for these couple of days, and I have seen where people appears like they are mummies, like they are lost, like they are without hope. I have seen video clips of markets, Port of Spain Market, Silot, Penal Market. I'll use the two far extremes, like Ghost Town, where people do not have money to buy food. I have seen, for this last week, I have given out some food stuff by the help of some individuals whose name I will not call because they asked that it be so. And people continue to flood my phone asking for a bag of groceries. People cannot provide for their families. I have seen homes that people would have drive and look at the brilliant design with these Christmas lights. I have seen, ladies and gentlemen, where people go into the supermarket and buying half of butter And if you don't believe me, you could go down to Siparia, opposite the market, walk into that grocery, and you will see how people buying half of butter. And I want to commend the owner, because he said, look, we are at the point where people cannot buy a whole margarine, and so they will cut it in two and have it on the shelf in the chiller for sale, and people running down half a butter. You want to know why you reach there? You want to know why you reach where you have to buy half a butter? Where you will go and ask people to sell you 3 okras? Why you will ask a vendor to open a bundle of dashing bush and sell you half at half price? You want to pay $3.50 for half bundle of dashing bush? You want to know why you are at that stage? You want to know why you can only afford chicken parts? Listen, I given people 2 packs of chicken parts, and that too was donated by someone. I put in 2 packs in a bag together with the food stuff. And let me tell you something. The joy that people have when they receive those 2 packs of chicken parts with that bag of grocery, the kind of blessing they want to, God bless you, Mr. Roberts, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. But the blessing is not only mine. The blessing is not only mine. But you want to ask yourself why you cannot afford a chicken? You know why you cannot afford a chicken, and why you have to buy half a butter, and why you want half a bundle of dashing bush, and why you want half in everything? It is by your selection. And that man's stupidity. It is by your doing. And that man who I consider to be the worst prime minister ever. When Kamla Prasad Bisesa was in office, look, I see half a butter on the screen. When Kamla Prasad Bisesa was in office, you used to go and pick up 4, 5, 6 butter. You know why? Flour were at a cost. Your salary was running. Negotiations were settling. And you could have made a good grocery, provide for your family, send your children to school, pay your bills, have water in your pipes, have good roads to drive on. Your children were involved in sports. Your children had different centers. Education was maximized. Your passes was nothing as we have seen recently under Gatsby Dolly. When Kamla Prasad was there, your life and your livelihood was spiraling upward. You had every opportunity. Your children had opportunities. You had jobs. You used to eat and drink what you want. But because of your choice, because you choose to believe this liar who tell you that Kamla and Gary and others was going to murder people, you believe that. And you know what is sad? Today, you continue to sit down in your houses, in your homes, and you continue to believe the lies that is still emanating from the mouth of that individual. You sit down, you come out, and you scream when you hear lies. It is as though your air cannot tolerate truth anymore. It is as though you have become so enshrined with the foolish utterances of that man that the truth, it is now alien to you. It is something that your air can no longer take. Where are we going as a society? A society where men and women will do absolutely nothing to defend and to provide for the children that came out of their own loins and from the womb of the mother. You people rather sit down and believe the lies, believe all the idiotic stories, while your eyes is seeing the deceptiveness, while deception is before your eyes, but yet you allow your ears to believe and to listen, and you allow your ears to send that message to your mind, where your brain will allow your mind to accept what your eyes is blatantly seeing as deception. You have seen a deceptive individual who will stop at no junction to deceive you. And I am wondering, how come you can find glory in deceit and deception? I am wondering, as a human being who knows and understands what is right from wrong, what is truth from lies, and yet you have seen a prime minister who lied to you like a river, like a stream, and yet you choose to believe and to support. Is this where we reach in our society? That you parents, you mothers, you fathers, you brothers and you sisters will not stand up for what is right? I cannot help but wonder if you are not seeing what is right before your eyes, which is the demise of your children in this country. I am wondering if the gods have placed a scale on your eyes that you cannot see that the future of this country is spiraling downwards. I don't know if you cannot see what is happening right before your very eyes with this rowdy government. I am trying hard on a daily basis. When I get up at mornings and I give my Lord thanks and blessings for another day, sometimes I sit on that bed and I think of my children, and then I ask, Lord, what would become of this generation because your people fail to stand up for what is right and to speak what is right? Tonight I am telling you that my heart, my conscience, and my mind is very well clear, because I am doing what is required of me to do as a parent, as a man in this society. My name must not go down in the books of this country as one of the individual who did absolutely nothing to save this country from rowdy government. My name must be established as a man who stand up and stood out and fight and speak and use my hands and my legs to do everything possible to save this country from the wrath that is right before our doorstep. The wrath, the agony and pain is right before your doorstep. And tonight I am telling you, Trinidad and Tobago, if you choose to do absolutely nothing to rescue this country, then you will fall casualty to the legacy of this PNM government. Today I want to talk to the gang leaders. Today I want to speak to the criminal elements. While you continue to rob and murder your fellow brother and citizens of this country, while you continue to look in every angle and every corner to provide out of blood for your family, even by utilizing the blood of another family to put food on your table, I want to tell you tonight that you are targeting your own brothers and sisters and cousins and husbands and wives. They are not your enemy. The people that you are targeting, the most vulnerable, that you will murder for a few dollars, I want you to think tonight why you are in that condition. I want you, the criminal element tonight, to stop for 1 minute and think as to why you are in that condition. After the oil boom in this country, we have had all the natural resources, asphalt, limestone, everything. And for 30 straight years, from 1956 to 1986, you were run by the PNM, by the African man. A matter of fact, when Kamaluddin Mohammed should have take over after the death of Eric Williams, the conspiracy was so strong with the African leaders in the PNM that they boycott Kamaluddin Mohammed. While all the money, the wealth, the natural resources were raking in billions of US money in this country, you must ask yourself today, the criminal element, why you have to rob and kill to put money in your pocket or to wear a gold chain if you choose. You must look at who is your enemy. You must recognize that the enemy to you is those who have placed you in poverty. Your enemy is those who have made policies to keep you in that ghetto life. You must understand that your enemies is those who will have you to live in what we consider to be shantytown houses. Your enemy is those who have placed you and kept you in those environments. Not the man who's selling clothes. Not the man who go into the marketplace to put food that your children could eat. Your enemy is the government of this country. That's your enemy. And until you recognize that the government of this country is your enemy, is until you will kill and them will kill you. Watch in your area. Watch in your village, in your zone. And see if the government wants to change your condition. The government doesn't want to change your condition. The government wants to keep you in that condition. The government wants to keep you fighting and killing each other while they benefit and bathe with millions of your dollars. Monies that should be coming to your communities. Those monies are paying the rent of government ministers. money that should be coming to develop your communities is monies that going into the father and the brother of another minister. Monies that should be coming to fix your problems and to move you and to help you to be self-sustained, where you can be a businessman, an entrepreneur in your community. They are benefiting while they keep you in poverty to fight and to kill. You know why? Because they know that the day you put down those guns and you join yourself in one force, they know that they cannot benefit with your taxpayer dollar anymore. Let me tell you something. And I know many people will be angry with me here now, but I am accustomed with that. Why every year an MP must have the opportunity to buy a new vehicle? Why? Why every year an MP must get so much, hundreds of thousands of your dollars in tax break? Why every year MPs could shop duty free and bring in whatever they want to bring in while you had to pay the bill? The time has come, a vehicle 5 years guarantee in this country. The time has come where we, the people of this country, must stand up and let a member of parliament know that, hey, one vehicle, 5 years full warranty, any vehicle you want to buy, but you wouldn't get a next one tax-free for 5 years. Yes, I could see them. I could feel the tension. I could feel the tension, but I don't care about tension. Poor people in this country have been suffering too long. Poor people in this country have been suffering too long, while a selective few benefit in every area in a holistic manner. They have everything nice, while you, the people who put them in office, you continue to suffer. You must wake up and stop being idiots in this country. You must wake up and let this government know that you intend to stand up against the sufferation, the hardship that they place on you every time, all the time. They will utilize you today, and when they get there, they will punish you tomorrow. Keith Rowley stood up. He said, if anybody in the UNC tell you that that government will bring back the property tax, they're wicked, deceitful, they are liars. Keith Rowley tell you that. But today, come January, the property tax will be at your doorstep. I want the criminal element to know in this country, you are just a victim. When you hear that name, criminal element, you think that's some big title? You think you could go in the bank and say, hey, I'm a criminal element? You feel you could tell the police, hey, I am a criminal element, I see man. That is just a title that you get so that the police could kill you quick. When they give you a name, the gang leader, you feel you're in charge. I know men who went to President House and feel that they were in charge. I know a man used to go Kent House, and the police knew that he used to move with a Uzi in the backpack. They appoint him advisor to Jat Narain. Big money when the month reach. And when things get out of hand, and Manning say you had to go, he say you will go before me. 2 days later, he was history in Waterfield. History. I saw a double murder and they say TTRF, Trinidad and Tobago Regiment shells were found. What bullet you think, what shells you feel, splendid shell you feel, defined by he body? When they give you those titles and they tell you you in charge and we will give you a contract and you go run the tongue, listen, you are already marked for death. You are already marked for death. But they have to keep you in those conditions, because once you are in those conditions, then they could escape with the wealth of the country. Put down the gun. Put down the gun. And let us unite. And let us demand the upliftment. Let us demand what is ours, that they continue to bathe in, year go, year come, which is your resources of the country. Why today you still have to live in those 1960 conditions? Why today you could understand that some prime minister whine on some girl bottom and she end up with her HCC house while you still living in your plywood structure? If they can't whine on your bottom, you have nothing to get. You ain't believe me? Well, if you ain't believe me, what Trigelo and Alwari and them, you had to whine on somebody bottom. Somebody bottom had to pay the cake in order to survive in this country. I am saying that we must demand as citizens of this country that those fellas who continue to rub with the jacket and the tie and the pen, every year they want a new car, Porsche Cayenne, Porsche this, Porsche that. Everything is Porsche. I am saying that tonight, if you decide to put down the weapons, put down the guns, and we unite in one force, every government that comes into office will have to obey the rule of law, and equity will have to be the key word going forward. But the more you fight and the more you listen to this idiot who telling you blame Kamala and Kamala weak, before the week done, I go deal with that Kamala week thing, before this week done. Because I come in here from today until Friday, every day. That's my Christmas present to all you. I come in here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday is my birthday and I come in right here and talk. Right here. Because it have nothing to celebrate on that Keith Rowley. If you want to fool yourself and feel you have something to celebrate, you go ahead and celebrate now, man. Go ahead and celebrate. You feel that life is about today. Life is not about today, people. Life is always about the future. And the future could only be what you make it. The future could only be what you allow Rowley and them to make it. And the future they're making for your children, I am telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, it is right on your doorstep. Right on your doorstep. Put down the guns. Put down the gun. There's a group of people in this country who do absolutely nothing. I want to thank the family in Claxton Bay who called me this afternoon and presented a box of groceries and a chicken that somebody will be able to have a meal. I want to tell that family tonight, thanks very much. And I hope that God will continue to bless all of you in that little village. Because, trust me, I know what it is like to be hungry. And once you could understand that, then you could understand the pain of somebody else. Rowley, Faris Alwari, Stuart Young, Rohan Sinathan, Dial Singh, Inbot, Brian Manning, Beckers, Camille Robinson, wherever just she is, Norbrega or Nosebreaker, however you want to call him, Keith Scotland and the whole pack. The whole pack. You think them people understand anything about hungry? You think them understand about anything about hungry? Them eating out of your plate. They eating out of your money. They eating, they drinking. Down to the toilet bowl. That some of them going and cock up on. Because the amount of thing that's happening in the PNM, some of them can sit down on the toilet bowl and they cock up. And if you don't believe me, go back and check some of them reports that we had. And you're going to understand. Down to that and all, some of them worth more than your house, the toilet bowl. But who created it? You. You created it. And until you decide to change it, is until you will remain in that condition. I hope, I really hope that you understand what's happening. There's a group of people in this country who like to fet, who like to balance, who will spend the last cent. I actually talk about some fet or some party. Me even know it is, I me even know because my mission is beyond people imagination. That the fet you're talking about, Archie? That is who fet now?
That is some fet over the weekend or sometime recently down in the Shagaramas area. Some Boma boy or Bona boy. Bona boy. I don't know. I never hear about this Bona boy or boy. If you,
a sure
I
Bona
might
boy.
mispronounce.
A sure Bona boy or wherever boy is. Going back with them money and them broken.
What them money? Well,
a sure
yes.
Bona boy gone with some 100,000 well. But you see that group?
Well, I don't know. I allegations that people pay $1,400 to go to that boy, Victor.
That nice, that nice. You see that group of people you're seeing there? That group of people who are seeing them in the right place. What you name, Bugger Boy? What?
Bona boy or something.
Some kind of boy.
I never hear that person yet. I can't understand who is he, what that is about.
So tell me something. I sure some of them they couldn't provide a nice meal the next day. But you know what? They will sell their soul. But that group you're seeing there, that group can't win no election, you know. That group can't win no election. That group, it's not enough for them there to win an election. So let me say that whole group is PNM. Let me just say that. The next group that's saying no, who ain't doing nothing, I want to talk to all you tomorrow, please God. I'm talking to all you tomorrow, please God. Real sad Archie boy. When you watch what's going on in this country and you're watching these people, sad, very, very sad. So Archie, so this whole week, I will be running the program from 6:30 to 8 o'clock for the whole week. Tomorrow, please God, I want to talk to our next group of people. I want to tell you tonight, if you have anything to celebrate, go ahead and celebrate. But for me, I have absolutely nothing to celebrate in this country until I see this country heading in a direction where the children will have a future. We have no future. Archie, anything you want to share before I wrap up?
Well, I know I'm really happy that it have people outside there that's be calling your number to contribute towards the little charity work you'll be doing, sharing out the little hampers, trying to provide a little something for some people to eat, and it's really nice that people call in and make their contributions. But that is just like putting a plaster on a sore, whereas we're happy for that. We have a bigger job, which is to get rid of the PNM. And, people believe that the UNC have all the necessary resources to do so. And I want to say quite categorically here right now that we really need more hands on deck, right? Take, for example, your own situation in Labrie. Right? We have to take on the PNM in Labrie there. You have to set up an office. The office need supplies, it need funding, but it also need volunteer people to assist. We have a lot of work we're doing in that Labrie area in terms of organizing the constituency and doing the FAOs and doing the surveys and training people. Getting people, because that in my estimation was one of our downfalls, where we just went and pay people on election day to go and check our votes. Yeah. And if you have to pay a person to do something like that, the other side that have unlimited war chest in terms of resources will just simply pay our counter And that's how I suspect, Victor, that the PNM won that election last time. Because I don't think the people could be so dissatisfied with the PNM that they would go and put them back in such large numbers. So we really need to organize ourselves, and this especially in certain constituencies like Toko, Labre, Point 14. All these are seats that the majority of people are not PNM, right? But because sometimes we don't organize these seats properly, and because we have a lack of volunteers, you know, you've seen it from right in Labre there, where we need more people coming out and coming on board, right? Volunteering to work in the office, volunteering to assist as street captains, polling agents, polling division leaders. We need a lot of assistance, right? And we are starting to do that from now, because the way this country going, a election could happen any minute now. But in any case, we need to prepare for 2025. We need to prepare, and we just can't come on election day like a chicken without a head and manage to pull this thing off. So I am appealing to people, and you know, it have people outside there will sit down and like, let's say you having a march or something and they only see 200 people. They will say, but you know, by the UNC is a waste of time. But where is the U in that UNC? Right? So I appealing to people to a New Year resolution. Just don't sit back, right? Go out there. You have to actually make a physical step and go out there, right? And contact your member of parliament, or the UNC has put a coordinator in every seat that doesn't have a UNC member of parliament, right? And what we'll probably do is probably put up the numbers on the screen of the different coordinators in the different area, right? Or put up something on the website where people could start volunteering, because there's no way you could defeat that PNM just so, you know. You can't tackle them one-on-one, you know. You can't play you giving out hampers to feel you could secure a vote, you know. Because if you could give out 10 hampers, the PNM could give out 1 million, right? The PNM will pay people to vote. But at the end of the day, I am quite certain outside there have more people opposed to the PNM. But what happened? It's a big monumental task to organize these people. And they have a lot of people outside there that are very competent. But what you call them last time? Sour grapes or tobanka. Tobanka. I am saying, in the United National Congress, we may have had over 300 to 400 members of parliament, senators, and don't talk about board chairmen. You talking about thousands of people, and these people are high caliber, highly competent, but they're not contributing. As a matter of fact, you just talk about it there just now. People just stand up and ball Kamala weak. And I find that that is such an unfair statement, because she have all these people attacking her, and yet she's still standing strong as leader. And where are they? How could you call this lady weak?
Well, I go deal with that before the week done. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, so my main thing is, come 2023, make up your mind. Like I hear my partner Herschel Ramesa, he said 2023, he coming out, right? And this is not about who and who. He say he coming out for his country, right? And this is what I expect of all our competent people. There are a lot of them outside there, boy. Over 300 people was ministers in our partner. Ministers in high-performing governments, both Pandey and Kamala, ambassadors. People just want what? They just want to wait till people get in government and then want to line up for a position or something. It don't happen, so we have to get in power first, right?
So there's where we will leave it for tonight. Tomorrow, please go out at 6:30 sharp. I'll be here, and we'll be going straight to 8 o'clock for the rest of the week. God bless. Good night.